The Young and the Restless Spoilers, welcome back to our channel, Besties. Today is a beautiful, chaotic Tuesday, and we are absolutely serving you the most piping hot, world-shattering tea straight out of Genoa City. Grab your iced coffees, strap in, and prepare your souls, because what we are about to discuss is going to alter our brain chemistry forever. Let's dive right into the madness. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing right now. I am literally shaking. Wait, we need to talk about this now. I am genuinely hyperventilating in the middle of a Target parking lot while running errands because I just had to jump on here and vent. You do not understand the absolute cinematic mayhem that just unfolded on our screens. I was mid-skincare and smeared charcoal mask all over the rug, minding my own business, and when this scene dropped, I literally had to yeet my phone across the room. I am not okay. We are not just watching this show anymore. We are invested. My soul has actually left my body, and I am physically vibrating from the sheer audacity of what Kyle Abbott just did. Besties, be for real right now, because the Abbott family tree isn't just shaking. It is being violently uprooted by a Category 5 hurricane of psychological warfare. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step. Okay, so let's set the scene. Kyle Abbott, our usually put together, slightly naive Prince of Jabbit, has been straight up spiraling. And honestly, who can blame him with everything going on? But then, he stumbles upon it. The letter. An old, dusty, incredibly cryptic letter written by Diane Jenkins. I don't know where he found it, maybe tucked away in some vintage Abbott mahogany desk, which is honestly so unhinged because who keeps incriminating evidence lying around in a mansion with that much foot traffic? But anyway, this letter basically hints at some massive, dark secret regarding his origins. Did I say that yet? Ugh, my brain is mush. Moving on, Kyle reads this thing. And you can literally see the exact moment his entire reality fractures. The boy is reading words that basically imply Diane might not be his biological mother. I mean, genuinely, I had to pause the episode to scream into a pillow. Oh, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, and don't even get me started on the vibes. Diane has always been giving major, I have secrets buried in the walls energy. Like her whole aesthetic since she came back from the dead, which, by the way, still iconic, but also exhausting, has been this reformed, perfect mother figure. But we all knew it was a ticking time bomb. The lighting in this scene where Kyle finds the letter was so moody, like a literal A24 horror movie. There was this weird background noise, like a ticking clock or maybe just the hum of the Abbott Mansion's AC unit, but it added so much tension to the aesthetic. Anyway, snapping back to the main tea, Kyle is straight up spiraling. He cannot handle the doubt anymore. The seed is planted, and it is growing into a giant, poisonous beanstalk of trauma that is going to destroy everything. So, what does our boy Kyle do? Does he go to therapy? Does he confront his dad, Jack, who is currently dealing with his own dumpster fire of a life? No. He decides to go straight to the belly of the beast. He goes to the prison. Yes, you heard me. He secretly visits Patty Williams. Patty, I poisoned Summer and have an unhealthy obsession with Jack Williams. They are officially on my do not perceive list. I am so done. But Kyle is desperate. He needs answers, and he knows Patty is the one person unhinged enough to hold the missing puzzle pieces. The cinematic build-up to this prison visit is insane. The cold, sterile walls, the echoing footsteps, the absolute dread. It felt like a high-octane psychological masterpiece where the stakes are astronomical. I was literally clutching my chest because I knew something terrible was about to happen. When Kyle walks into that visitor's room, the energy shifts so violently I almost got whiplash. I am literally hyperventilating right now just thinking about it. Patty is sitting there, and she looks exactly like someone who has been plotting the downfall of an entire legacy from behind bars. Her hair, her posture, the way she looks at Kyle like a cat looking at a very confused, very vulnerable mouse. Bestie, I was screaming at my screen, "Kyle, run!" Do not engage with the psychopath. But he sits down. He actually sits down across from the woman who has tormented his family for decades. The sheer audacity of this boy. He is trembling, his voice is shaking, and you can see the absolute terror in his eyes as he prepares to ask the question that will ruin his life. And then he asks it. He drops the mother of all bombs. Kyle looks at Patty, his voice cracking, the tears welling up, and he says, "Are you my real mother? I am deceased." I literally fell off my chair. The absolute silence that followed that question was deafening. You could hear a pin drop in that prison visiting room. Kyle is laying his entire existence bare on this cheap metal table. He is begging this convicted, delusional, violently unhinged woman for the truth about his own DNA. It's giving major I cannot even energy, and I am spilling all the tea right now because this is the most insane moment of television I have witnessed in my entire life. My jaw was on the floor, besties. Let's talk about Patty's reaction, because give Stacy Hyduck an Emmy right now. Patty doesn't just answer him. She lets the question hang in the air. She savors it. She takes a slow, sinister breath, and then she smiles. But it's not a happy smile. It's that terrifying, predatory, I have won smile. That smile told me everything I needed to know before she even opened her mouth. I'm calling it the villain arc is about to go nuclear. Patty leans in, looking at Kyle with this twisted maternal pride, and she confirms it. She tells Kyle that yes, she is his biological mother. Send help. My soul has actually left my body. I am unwell. I literally cannot process the words coming out of her mouth. But wait, it gets so much worse. Patty doesn't just say yes and leave it at that. She gives him the full, horrific, traumatic backstory. She claims that years ago, when she was locked up in a mental hospital because, Patty has spent half her life in facilities, Diane Jenkins was there. And according to Patty, Diane stole the baby. Diane literally stole Kyle from Patty's arms in a mental institution just so she could use him to trap Jack Abbott. Wait, I'm glitching. Okay, back to the main event. Diane, the woman who has been playing the victim, the woman who claims to love Kyle more than life itself, is allegedly a straight-up kidnapper who stole a child from a mentally ill woman to secure the Abbott bag. This is the most diabolical, unhinged plot twist I have ever heard. Now, we have to pause and dissect this tea with absolute cinematic mayhem. Is Patty telling the truth? We all know Patty is completely delusional. She has a history of making up wild fantasies, especially anything involving Jack Abbott. Remember when she got plastic surgery to look like Emily Peterson? Exactly. The woman is not exactly a reliable narrator. But what if she is telling the truth? What if Diane's entire existence in the Abbott family is built on the most vile, unforgivable crime imaginable? If Diane stole Patty's baby, that means every single thing Kyle has ever known is a lie. His mother isn't his mother. His mother is his kidnapper. The psychological damage this is going to inflict is beyond comprehension. Look at Kyle's face in this scene. The boy is shattered. You can physically see the light leave his eyes. His world is straight up collapsing around him. He thought Diane was his rock, especially lately with all the chaos happening in Genoa City. He defended her when everyone else said she was toxic. He stood by her when she came back from the dead. And now he is sitting across from Patty Williams, realizing that the blood running through his veins might belong to the very woman who has terrorized his family for years. I literally cannot handle the gravity of these events. I am physically vibrating from the stress of watching this poor man's identity disintegrate in real time. Wait, backtrack for a second, I missed a step. I need to remind you all about the absolute circus that is currently happening with Jack and Patty outside of this prison visit. Did I say that yet? Ugh, my brain is mush. Okay, so Patty isn't just sitting in a cell twiddling her thumbs. She has been running a massive, sinister extortion ring from the inside. She literally paid off Dr. Lawrence Markham to kidnap Diane, throw her in a barred room, and take photos of her in a padded cell. Patty is using these photos to blackmail Jack Abbott into sleeping with her. Recreate the magic of the yacht, she says. I am literally gagging. It is so repulsive and unhinged. And while Jack is running around Genoa City hyperventilating and trying to save his wife from this psycho, his own son is sitting across from that very same psycho, finding out she might be his biological mother. The dramatic irony is actually making me physically ill. I am clutching my pearls, my pillow, my steering wheel, everything. Oh, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, and don't even get me started on the vibes, Patty and Doctor. Markham didn't even stop with Diane. No, these absolute menaces decided to go full nuclear and kidnap Abby and baby Dominic just to torture Ashley Abbott, who just got forced back from Paris. So, picture this. The entire Abbott family is currently under siege by Patty Williams. Ashley is having a feral, primal breakdown over her missing daughter and grandson. Jack is being sexually blackmailed to save his wife. And right in the middle of this catastrophic, apocalyptic Abbott family meltdown, Kyle goes rogue, finds a dusty old letter, and discovers he is the spawn of the architect of all their current suffering. I mean, genuinely, you cannot write this level of cinematic mayhem without a PhD in psychological warfare. Let's really dissect Kyle's mental state here, because I feel like we are not talking enough about the sheer trauma this boy is enduring. Bestie, be for real right now, Kyle has always had a bit of an identity crisis. He grew up bouncing between Jack's overbearing legacy expectations and Diane's manipulative affection. He finally thought he had his life together. He was co-CEO, he was a father, he had his mom back, and in one single conversation, Patty Williams took a sledgehammer to his entire reality. If Diane stole him from a mental hospital, that means every memory, every hug, every I love you, son, from Diane was a calculated move to secure her spot in the Abbott family. It means Kyle wasn't a child born out of love. He was a pawn stolen from a sick woman. The betrayal is so deep it physically hurts my chest. I am hyperventilating just imagining the conversation Kyle is going to have with Jack. Hey, Dad, I know you're busy trying not to sleep with Patty to save Mom, but fun fact, Patty is actually my mom. I literally cannot even. And don't even get me started on what this means for Jabot. The foundation of the Abbott Empire is built on legacy, blood, and family. If Kyle is Patty's son, that changes the entire power dynamic. It threatens to destroy Jabot from the roots up. Jack Abbott is going to lose his mind. He is already dealing with Diane being missing and Patty blackmailing him for sex. And now, on top of all that, Jack might find out that Kyle is the product of Patty, not Diane. The Abbott mansion is going to burn to the ground, metaphorically speaking. The board of directors is going to have an absolute field day with this scandal. Jabot's stock is going to plummet faster than my self-esteem on a bad hair day. As Kyle walks out of that prison, the camera pans out, and he just looks so small. He is carrying the weight of a nuclear secret. He can't tell Jack would probably have a heart attack. He can't confront Diane because she's currently MIA, locked in a room by Markham. He is entirely alone with this world-shattering tea, manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update, because there is no way Kyle keeps this to himself for long. He is going to explode. The psychological damage this is going to inflict on him is astronomical. He is now the son of Patty Williams. Let that sink in. Honestly, I need to go lie down in a dark room with a cold compress on my head. This situation is now my entire personality, and I am not okay. The writers have truly outdone themselves with this high-octane psychological torture. Are we going to get a DNA test? Is Kyle going to confront Patty again? Is Jack going to find out while he's trying to rescue Diane? I am calling it right now. When Diane finally escapes Dr. Markham and comes home, expecting a warm welcome, Kyle is going to confront her with this letter, and it is going to be the confrontation of the century. Besties, keep your eyes peeled, stay hydrated, and pray for Kyle Abbott's sanity, because we are in for the wildest ride in daytime television history.